Thank you. On a cold night at the foot of the Rockies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. And off we go from Denver. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Good run there to start the drive. 13 yards, first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game. That game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Jerry Jeudy, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Murray now on 1st down. And his pass incomplete.
Charles, you talk about this defense, and they're in for a tough test, playing a team working on a 3-game win streak. But their head coach very confident in his guys' chances when he spoke to the media earlier this week.
I'd call him brimming with confidence, and he should be. Because if that's what he needs to do to fire up his guys, he should do so. And he's telling everybody, we've got a locker room full of guys ready to step up.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off right around the 43. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4.
So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. And they'll run again. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his.
The full team is involved in this game early, aren't they? go down the field, score on offense, take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, two-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You had perfect omelet, dropped it, so a little bit of a turnover. You went right back, though, and got that omelet and crushed it.
Got to do what you got to do, man. Got to do what you got to do.
A little worried about your hands, though.
Yeah.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Murray off play action. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Von Miller in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They run the counter. Rolling. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. 2nd down coming up.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On 2nd down now. Rolling. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
On 3rd down. Rolling. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So now Drew Lock gives way to Brandon McManus. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. The kick by McManus is good. And that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit. Well, part of why that play works is because the defense has to freeze because they don't know whether he's going to hand it off or keep it himself. And this time, how about that sleight of hand there? Gives it to his wideout. And that indecision defensively, boy, it hurt him in a big way.
Gets this to Isabella on the jet sweep. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle. This defense for the Broncos, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And with the playoffs ahead, this is how you build momentum because they pitched a shutout last week. And I don't care who you're playing. That's not easy to do at this level. And they're playing their best football at the right time of year.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw is Murray. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
Now Carter. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Normally when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
They'll try the jet sweep with Kirk. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. 17-0 our score after 1. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. This is Benjamin. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. His 9th rushing touchdown now on the year, number 10 overall. And the Cardinals cut into that lead. Prater for the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll run on 1st down. Rolling. Oh, what a move. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On 2nd down, rolling. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Tackle made there by Buda Baker.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
On second down now, rolling, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
I know flashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And the Broncos are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
He'll try again.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Murray's throw pulled in by Hopkins.
And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. A huge play there for Arizona.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They'll run. It's Carter.
And coughed it up. The Broncos say they have it. They do. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
and it is cold,
and it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. It's a big play there for the Broncos. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a give right side. Rolling. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
55 rushing yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
That's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos continue to pull away here this first half. McManus's point after is good. And the rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And last time, the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Now the ball comes loose. It's picked up by the Broncos, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
You know I love football. You know I love the game.
I hope so.
But nighttime in December, you know I'm wearing multiple coats. So I just wonder about the guys on the field with all the great gear that they have. Do they have enough on, or do they have too much on? Because sometimes that can affect you trying to carry the ball.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Following the fumble recovery, it's Locke. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
And some play callers, when they go into games, they don't mind calling a lot of screens, and they don't care what down. They were maybe one block away from really having something there to start this drive. Good job defensively to cut through the blockers and make the tackle on the screen, but that could have gone for maybe 15 or 20 yards.
On 2nd down, rolling, and he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On 1st down, Locke. And this is taken in by Hamler for a Bronco touchdown. K.J. Hamler, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos add on. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. And they take a knee. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. It'll be the Cardinals who get the ball first. They trail here as we resume action in the third quarter. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
The first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. On the screen, this is Edmonds. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. Going to be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one. $13 yards the tally on the return there. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They run the counter. Rolling. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Locks throw here into the hands of the receiver, Judy. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
On 1st down, rolling. And a short gain down to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. And oh my goodness, what a catch at the 6. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
One-handed, love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a 1st down.
And he'll be the one in the film session and be saying, hey, run that one back, coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that
2
again.
more times.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Oh, this will be incomplete.
The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. So now Drew Lock gives way to Brandon McManus.
This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And McManus able to put it through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further.
So tack on 3 more, though this, it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Murray. This is caught. It's Kirk. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. This is caught by Williams. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Play fake. Murray. Finding Williams once more. Complete.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. This will be caught inside the 10. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. A little tough on the secondary there, in zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing again, Murray. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Kyler Murray, a 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Cards get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Extra point good by Prater. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now here's a throw that's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll run on first down. Rolling. They can't tackle it. Past the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. 56 yards. And the Broncos are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead. McManus's point after is good, and that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Dancing to his left. Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to... have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead.
And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory.
Tackled by Isaiah Simmons.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way home for the Broncos score.
Javonte Williams.
His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos turn that interception into a touchdown. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Here's Carter.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The Cardinals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. That one caught by Carter. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
And they'll run here with Carter.
Despite the heavy running, he'll be hit and drop shy of the 45.
I heard all the stories. I watched some of the tape of the old school guys, the throwback guys who were the punishing runners and knocked people aside to pick up yardage. I'm so glad I was sitting here today and got to see it with my own eyes.
3rd and 2, Hill. We are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair.
And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down.
So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things. And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out, and the Broncos will take over on downs.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive as they try to finish things off in this 4th quarter, and that current 5-game win streak looking like it's going to go to 6.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
62 yards rushing for him now in just his first 3 carries.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
On 1st down, rolling. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd and 6.
Check 26, check 26.
Now Williams running left. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Denver, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Arizona, it's a loss that could wind up hurting a little as they fall now to 11-4. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.